The Detroit Lions positive juju is back. Nothing can hurt us now. This team on the bye week, undefeated. Same old Lions. That shit doesn't apply when they don't play. Michigan State finally back in the win column against Wisconsin. Thriller. Jay Reed, that shit ain't 50-50, son. Keon Coleman, he said 100. Michigan, yeah, they curb stomped Penn State. No, Michigan curb stomped Penn State. James Franklin, by the way, has the audacity after getting his teeth kicked in by Michigan again. It's actually shocking that his Penn State has ever beaten Michigan at all. He's going to complain about Michigan, the big house, having both teams go in the same tunnel. Bro, who the fuck do you think you are, James Franklin? The Detroit Red Wings are back. They're 2-0-1 through 3. This team is special. The Pistons start tomorrow night, and the Tigers are the Tigers. It's a beautiful time to be a sports fan, specifically a Detroit sports fan. Pokemon, it's me and you. Do 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 do. Pokemon, do 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 ya. Pokemon, the Detroiter covering sports in the Motor City and Mitten State. That song bangs. That song bangs. Feel how you feel about my rendition of it, but the actual Pokemon song, Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all. It's me and you. Ooh, Pokemon. Pokemon. That is a fucking heater, brother. No wonder it's the biggest trading card game in the world. How many seasons did Pokemon run for? Like 50? I wouldn't be surprised. That song alone could carry it for at least half that. That song's fucking gas, dude. I was just doing the groceries. I mean, the dishes. I'm not even a Pokemon guy, is the crazy thing. I was more of a Yu-Gi-Oh kid growing up. I had one of those fucking blade things that like you play the card when you're on the go. You got to duel someone, but you don't have a stadium to duel each other. You're on the go. Fucking let's duel right here, bitch. Little Yu-Gi-Oh. How about I Yu-Gi-Oh these nuts in your mouth, right? I had one of those. Funny story. When I got it, I think I asked for it for Christmas. But I remember when I saw that thing in like a pamphlet, my mom, that's how fucking young I was. Another mind blowing thing. I would look for Christmas toys in like physical magazines. I remember seeing that shit in the magazine though and being like, wait a second. Wait a second. They sell these things? Anybody can buy them? A kid like me, I can get a mobile Yu Gi Oh playing field. And the best part was, if I put my Yu-Gi-Oh cards on this thing, I take it out of the draw selector that they have over here, and I play them on this thing, my Yu-Gi-Oh are gonna come to life. What's up, dude? What's up, bro? They sell other toys. How the fuck does anybody go into a Target around Christmas time, see that thing, know their kid can play real life Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and those Yu-Gi-Oh characters, Blue Eyes White Dragon, that shit's gonna actually appear in real life if you put it on the mobile disc? That was being sold, and they had other toys in stock. I was sold. I knew I had to have it. But again, I was under the conception or misconception that if I put my Yu-Gi-Oh cards in that thing, they would actually like appear in real life. I don't even know how young I was. I'd like to say 3 years old. I would like to say that's where my brain was as far as believing. Wait, I put my card on the thing that they use in the show. My shit will be real. My red eyes black dragon will be fucking a real thing in my family room. I'll use them to scare off my sisters. I'll use them to go get the mail. I'll use them to take me for ice cream. That's where I was at with the brain. I'll be honest with you. I got nothing to hide. I'm an open book here. I thought if I played my Yu Gi Oh cards on that thing, it'd be real. My Yu Gi Oh would come to life. Not the case. I was disappointed to find that out upon opening that gift on Christmas. But I say all that to say I never really was a Pokemon guy. But man, does that song go hard. Pokemon, gotta catch you. It's me and you. That acapella right there. Or the harmonization. Pokemon, it's me and you. Like how the me and you just comes in. Fuck, that's a good tune. Doing dishes. Just, I don't even know. Not really a Pokemon guy. I'll tell you why. I sent in the group chat, I sent a meme of Pikachu crying, really cute, and kind of got me thinking. I was like, Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all. It's me and you. So here we are. Figured the best way to start out the show. You're here to listen about the Red Wings, the Detroit Pistons, the Detroit Lions, Michigan State, the University of Michigan. What better way to spend the first 4 or 5 minutes than talking about fantasy card games that originated in Japan? What better way to do that? What better way to get into the Detroit Red Wings being 2-0-1 in their first three than talking about Red Eyes Black Dragon? What better way to talk about MSU getting back in the win column than maybe the theme song of our generation for a television show, animated television show created by old men in Japan? What better way to talk about James Franklin being the biggest pussy on earth than Pikachu crying? What better way to talk about any of that stuff? So I felt compelled. I didn't have a choice. But now we can do the sports. I got that off my chest. I feel good. Now we can do the sports. I should address, I didn't upload last week. No YouTube, no podcast. There's a reason for that. I alluded to it a couple times on Twitter, I want to say. I don't even know. Maybe Instagram. I can't even remember where I mentioned it. Had the parents in town. They were staying with me, right, in the apartment, right, that I live in. It's not very big. That has the space for one person. They stayed with me. Got here last Tuesday. I'm filming this Tuesday night. They left this morning. So they were here for 7 days. Stayed with me. I don't know if I said that part. In my where I live and sleep and all that shit, my apartment, not a very big place. It's like 2 rooms pretty much. And incidentally, right, that apartment that they happen to stay with me in is also my studio. It doubles as my studio. It's the exact, this is one of the 2 rooms today, right now, where this is being shot. The table I'm sitting at, the green screen behind me, we're in one of the 2 rooms in my apartment, the other room being the bedroom. So naturally, I didn't have a lot of alone time. Couldn't get the studio to myself long enough to record any podcasts. So we went podcastless. I hope you guys don't mind. I'm sorry about that. It is what it is. One day, listen, one day, Barstool Sports, Dave Portnoy is going to come along and go, hey, you're pretty good. Do you want to do the Detroit stuff? Whatever you want to do. And it'll be my actual job, and I'll be able to do it during my 9 to 5, and I won't have to worry about this shit. That day will come. But in the meantime, my parents come to stay. I've got friends staying with me. My power goes out. Whatever the fuck happens in my apartment, that's it. That's it. I can't. That's it. That's my studio. This is my state of the art Manhattan, New York City Barstool Sports studio. This is it. And my parents, my dad was sleeping about 5 feet away right there. My mom was in the kitchen 2 feet away right there. Tough to come on here and swear and say words like pussy and talk about James Franklin and Michigan State and scream about the Red Wings. It's tough to do that when I'm living with my parents who tell me how I'm driving too fast on our way to the aquarium, right? Tell me how I should really wash the blankets on my sofa more, right? Tell me how, oh, you should have more chairs in here, even though I've explained to them 70 times that I live alone and I don't really need more than one chair. It's pretty incredible. I have a sofa and a chair. Like that alone is, wow, you really, you put on for your guests. A lot of different things they have to comment on. They have opinions on that really have no bearing on them being here. So if you can imagine, me coming on and yelling about sports that they certainly don't care about would not have flown. So here we are, week off, but we're back. The Detroit Lions had a bye, didn't miss anything there. Not that I like, it's kind of a good thing. I didn't want to come on here last week and talk about the Lions. Did you guys want me to come on and talk about the Cats? Like, I feel mentally rejuvenated not having watched them this week. It helps that MSU won. There's no doubt about that. It helps that MSU won, but I feel pretty fucking good, dude. Feel pretty damn good not having to watch the Lions this past week. I feel positive. I'm excited. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to talk about sports. There's nothing, there's no cloud over me. There's nothing that when I went to hit record tonight, I was going in the back of my head like, well, I guess we got to do that. Last week or 2 weeks ago, last episode I uploaded, I had somebody comment on it. They just tweeted at me and they go, hey, man, I usually listen to all your pods all the way through. Couldn't do it this week. Too negative. Fair enough, I guess. You don't need to tell me that, but fair enough, I guess. I appreciate you listening to all the rest of them through. Just say you're not a real one and keep it moving. No, but I do appreciate you watching all the other ones. I get it, though. I didn't feel good doing that podcast. Like, that's the thing. That guy's telling me, man, I didn't feel good listening to it. Brother, you think I felt good recording that shit? I don't want to talk about the Detroit Lions when they're 1-4, disappointing loss after disappointing loss, right after we all got excited about them. Like, I don't take any joy in that. I sit on that couch as long as I can until the time comes where I'm like, fuck, I guess I got to go talk about Dan Campbell not knowing how to use timeouts. Guess I got to go talk about the defense just simply not improving whatsoever. I guess I got to go do 20 minutes on that. Like I don't look forward to that. And I don't like game plan my Lions segments. I don't go, what was the shitty thing that happened this week? What's the negative dark angle I can take looking at the Lions this past week? What's the bummer route? Right? Like what's the thing that's just going to make people down? People are going to be sad listening to when it comes to the Lions. I don't do that. I'm like the opposite. Dude, let's get excited. What do we want to talk about? I'm not the biggest Jared Goff guy, but hey, let's talk about how great he's been. Hey, Aaron Glenn hasn't been so good. Aiden Hutchinson's not been so good. But let's talk about the potential. Let's talk about how it's still early. Let's talk about how Aaron Glenn, Dan Campbell believes in him. So we should too for now. Like I want to find the positive spin. I want to find what we should be excited about, what we should be happy about. But at some point, it goes from me being positive and the happy outlook and being a fan because you guys have know or heard me say, if you're a fan of the podcast, you've been watching even just the TikToks, you've heard me say, what the hell are you doing running around calling yourself a fan when you're going into games that haven't even been played yet going, SOL, we're the same old lines. You were in August sitting there watching Hard Knocks talking about Dan Campbell, nobody's ever going to turn it around. That's the Detroit Lions for you. Don't call yourself a fan. I'm that same guy that's given those same rants. Absolutely. But at some level, when you've lost those disappointing games, the Seahawks game, backed up by that Pats game, after we had the sliver of hope and Dan Campbell's burning timeouts incorrectly, Dan Campbell, Aaron Glenn are making zero improvements with the defense. The offense all of a sudden can't score on the fucking Pats. Like, it's not like the best team in the NFL. The Pats, you can't score on. At some level, it's not me being negative or giving into the same old Lions mentality. Although, like, you lose a game like the Patriots game, you lose a game like the Seahawks game, you lose a game like we did that Vikings game. Those are same old Lions losses. That's the exact shit Dan Campbell in that Hard Knocks episode where he was like, a lot of these tight games, man. A lot of these games we were in last year, man, that people want to talk about it, man, and same old lines. We're going to start winning those, man. That exact type of game we've lost at least 3 times already this year. Like, it just is what it is. It is what it is. It's not me being negative. It's not me being down. It's just we've lost three of those exact type of games he was talking about. Three minimum already this year. Like it just, it's just the truth. So at some level, I just have to be honest. Because if nothing, I'm not going to be inauthentic. I don't want to do that. That's the last thing I want to do. I want to be the positive guy. I want to bring Lions fans together. I want to give you a reason to be a little bit excited about a 1-4 team. But if I start doing that and it keeps going and it keeps going and they're not improving, it goes from me being positive to me just being fake. And it goes from not only what you guys perceive and what you guys see, but dude, me in my right here, dude, in my heart, it goes from me being like, fuck, this sucks, but all right, a couple good things happen. It goes from that to me lying to myself. I watched that Patriots game and I wanted to fucking put my head in a tub of molten lava. I didn't want to go talk about how, hey, well, this went pretty well because that's bullshit. At some point, if I do that whole routine, I'm lying to myself. I'm not saying, I'm not conveying my true feelings. And I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to do that. Right. And it's one thing like Michigan State coming up. Michigan's going to be heavy favorites, as they should be. I'm going to pick State. You're never going to once ever fucking even see me thinking, fuck, Michigan's going to win this game. Never. 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 Ever am I going to pick against my dogs in this game. Never. That said, if you're like gun to your head, $1 million on the line. Yeah, well, there's a reason Vegas is going to favor Michigan by like 20 or not maybe not 21, like 17. There's a reason like they're supposed to win. I'm going to ride with my dogs. Abso-fucking-lutely, but that's the same deal. Like at some level, it's me being the positive guy, me being the fan, me riding for my guys, whether it's MSU or the Lions or whoever. It's a line between that and a line between me just straight up lying. And I don't want to be the guy that straight up lies. Never going to happen. So I just wanted to address that. It was nice having the week off from the Lions, though. I feel I'm certainly not alone in that. Just taking a little break, not having to worry about Dan Campbell understanding how timeouts work. Um, by the way, forget Dan Campbell. That Chargers Broncos game last night. What's up, dude? Or 2 nights ago, now that you're listening to this. How the fuck does nobody know how to use timeouts in the league? Forget Dan Campbell. Obviously, we've kind of given him grief flying closer to the sun in Detroit. What about Nathaniel Hackett? What about Brandon Staley? How does nobody in the NFL understand how timeouts work? Nobody. These guys are head fucking coaches in the highest football league on the planet Earth. These guys make millions of dollars. Get this. These guys have offensive coordinators, they've got defensive coordinators, they've got special teams coaches, strengths coaches, medical staff. Oh, they've got a billion guys they can throw under the bus when things go wrong. Really, their only job, they have two: get the team fired up and ready to play. And the other, know how timeouts go, know when you use them, know when you save them. And none of these fucking guys can do half their job. They make millions of dollars, dude. I feel like I'm pretty good at this. I feel like I'm entertaining. I know what I'm talking about, at least when it comes to football, hockey, baseball. Basketball, I feel like I have a pretty good grasp of. I never played organized, but I've played a bunch of pickup. Friends with a bunch of guys who played organized. I've watched a good amount. I feel like, I know sports. I know what I'm talking about, know what I'm looking for. I think I'm entertaining. I think I'm kind of funny. I think I'm good at speaking, especially doing this whole thing alone. Like, I don't know if I don't not to toot my own horn here, not to fucking brag, but talking alone like this for an hour straight, a little more difficult than it would seem. I don't get paid millions of dollars. And I think I'm okay. I think I'm pretty good. I don't get paid millions of dollars. Dude, Brandon Staley. What the fuck, man? Time out, dog. I'm not asking you to build the Great Wall of China from a sand bucket and a rubber mallet. I'm asking you to understand how a timeout works. Justin Herbert's your quarterback. The Chargers, this is supposed to be the year. Last year was supposed to be the year. What the fuck are you doing? You don't understand that when the clock hits zero, the game ends. You don't understand if someone gets tackled inbounds, you have to use a timeout. You don't understand that you should only be throwing the ball on that third down past the first down marker and to the sideline. And when you throw it a yard behind the line and your tight end or whoever it was has to dive to catch it, you should just tell them to drop it anyway. What the fuck was that clock management? Mel Tucker is guilty of it too, dude. Everybody. It's fucking bananas. These head coaches, like, bro, I learned how head timeouts worked when I was 9 playing the GameCube, son. Ray Lewis on the cover, defense wins championships. I know how timeouts work. Yes. You make millions of dollars. You coach a football team in Los Angeles, California. You don't understand when you're supposed to do that. It's an absolute fucking joke, man. So don't feel too bad, Lions fans. When you see Dan Campbell burn a timeout with 12 minutes left in the first quarter, don't feel too bad because there are a lot of other dudes coaching a lot better teams with a lot higher expectations that also have no idea what's going on when it comes to making your hands into a T. No clue. It's fucking incredible. So that's enough about the Lions. Bye week last week. We got the Cowboys coming up this week. We'll talk about them. So I'm going to have this episode. This will come out Wednesday. We'll do another episode back to the twice a week. That'll come out on Friday. So Friday episode, we'll look forward to the Cowboys game. And, kind of what I said, like we're 1-4. It is what it is. We got to win a couple. We got to win a couple to get me back, at least personally. Yeah, I'm going to watch Sunday. I'll tune in, I'm going to follow along, see what happens. But I'm not going to be pouring in emotionally. I'm not going to be locked in. I'm not going to be waving the flag, smacking the table. It's just you're 1-4. You know what I mean? Like you got to win a couple to get me back. But we'll be here Sunday. We'll talk about the Lions a little bit later on in the week. We got Red Wings, got MSU, we've got U of M. I might go lighter on the college teams this week just because both of them have the bye, and it is the battle for Paul fucking Bunyan next Saturday. I can't wait, dude. This is the best week of college football, man. I love Michigan State. Don't get nervous like anything like I do for this game. You don't get the shit talk and just the fan base is fucking jawing at each other like you do for this game. You don't get that pregame buildup, the atmosphere, whether it's in Ann Arbor or in East Lansing, the way the crowd roars is just different. The way people hit each other in this game. If you remember back to last year, MSU U of M, I swear to God, every tackle that was made in that game was like fucking smack, like the hardest hit I've ever seen. Every play, someone was just getting licked. There's something about Michigan State that I know it's a big time rivalry. And I know nationally, I think people kind of respect it as like, oh, yeah, no. Michigan State, those guys fucking hate each other. Those games are good. They go at it, especially when State's good and Michigan's good. Like last year, top 10 matchup. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. You're paying attention in Florida, Alabama, Texas, California. Everybody's paying attention those years. But with that said, I do still think this rivalry is somehow underrated. I think it's like a top three rivalry in the country. And that's not even considering if you look at two sport, football, basketball, easy. Not even fucking easily top three. It might be number one if you look football, basketball, but even football, dude. Was it the Iron Bowl, Michigan, Ohio State? And then what do you want to come at me with? Because I'll give you Michigan State to counter anything. The Red River Showdown, dude, Michigan State is fucked. What do you want? Ole Miss, Mississippi State? Nah, promise you. Promise you it's not like MSU U of M. USC Notre Dame? Fuck, no. Not even close. Like this rivalry, I don't know if people outside of the Midwest, people that didn't go to one of the schools really understand. Like we fucking hate each other. Hate each other. The fan bases hate each other. The teams hate each other. The coaches, for the most part, hate each other. Every single thing about the rivalry is what makes it so delicious. And it's funny. I made a video today talking about how much I love it. And I alluded to how Michigan fans love to do the whole, oh, yeah, this is MSU Super Bowl. Like, whatever. It's a big game for us. No, yeah. It's a big game. Like Iowa was a big game. But yeah, it's not Ohio State. Like we don't care about it like that. I love how Michigan fans do that for a couple reasons. One, Mark D'Antonio said it best: pride comes before the fall. I think the whole "oh, we don't care about the game." It's like, wait, what? You don't care? What do you mean you don't care? Like it's just phony. What the fuck? You don't care about a rival? You what? That's fucking strange behavior. It's a weird thing to say. And then on the flip side, it's such a great rivalry. The games have been so good over the years. There is so much angst and just tension every single fucking play. And even years like this, where Michigan's rolling, top 3 or 4 team in the country, looking poised to go into Columbus and make another run at the Big Ten, and MSU's down. We're 3-4. The defense can't really stop anybody. People are roasting Mel Tucker. A lot of the same problems as last year. The offense has taken a step back. Even a year like this, where you look at it and you would go, oh, well, Michigan's going to smack these guys. Even a year like this, nobody has a fucking clue what's about to go down. Nobody's got a clue. And I'll be damned if MSU pulls up to Ann Arbor next Saturday and lays an egg. I'll be damned if they get steamrolled because they're going to come. They don't give a fuck what the record is. State won't give a fuck who we've played, who we've lost to. Nobody cares about any of it. What the secondary gives up, what JJ McCarthy's done, how Michigan's run game is. No one in green and white is going to give a shit about any of that. They're going to come to the big house with one intention, and that is to smack Michigan in the fucking mouth so hard that they can't open it for another 365. That's how MSU is going to come. And you can talk about they don't stand a chance. They don't stand a chance. Go ahead. Sure. Doesn't matter. It's what they say every year. That's what Michigan fans on repeat. It's funny because they say it to like get under your skin. And Michigan State fans, a lot of them will take the bait. But I'm at the point now where I'm like, It's like a little ugly fucking rat chihuahua just nagging at your pant leg. They're like, oh, they don't have a chance. How are they going to stop the run game? No, they have no chance. They need 7 turnovers to win this. Just, is there a fucking fruit fly, dude? Oh, no, it's just a Michigan fan. Ugh. Did I leave any apples out? This dude's fucking annoying. Says meaningless garbage. Like, I'm at that point with it. Oh, they don't have a chance, dude. We haven't had a chance any of the years we've beaten you. That's how it always fucking goes. But the funniest part is, with that being kind of the dynamic of the rivalry, where you throw out the records, it doesn't matter what any team's doing. This game is in a fucking vacuum, and both teams want it bad. And it means everything to everybody involved, no matter how much one side of the fan base is going to claim it doesn't. That's why I'm also so shocked by the Michigan fans who say they don't care. Why wouldn't you want to? This is the best, bro. Michigan State. Like, I love when State plays Penn State. I love when we play Ohio State. It's sick when we do stuff like we did this year, go to Seattle and play Washington. All that fun. Like, it's even cool. Wisconsin comes for homecoming. That's a cool game. I love when we play Michigan. I love that I'm a fan of one of the teams in this rivalry because, it's cool being a part of cool stuff. I love that MSU and Michigan, I went to one of these schools and I get to partake in it. I love that I have a firsthand seat to one of the greatest rivalries in college sports as well as college football. And I love that it means everything to me. And I love that we play classic games. And I love that it's going to be primetime ABC for people to watch from coast to coast, north to south. I love that. And I care about it. And I'm so grateful that I'm a part of it. And then I see Michigan fans going, we don't even care. I'm like, dude, this is one of the coolest things in fucking college sports. This is one of the coolest things in all of sports. You have the NFL rivalries, baseball rivalries, hockey rivalries, and there's some good ones. I don't think anything hits quite like college rivalries. This is one of the best ones out. You don't care? Why wouldn't you care about being part of one of the coolest things in all of sport? That's such a weird take. Like, it's okay that you care about Michigan State. You should. This is a massive fucking game. And if you want to do the whole Ohio State's a bigger rival, okay, dude. You beat them once for the first time in like 13 years or something. You care more about that game? Do people get angry about that game? Michigan, Ohio State, honest to God. Obviously, I'm not involved in that, so I can't speak as a fan of one of the two teams, but it's like, you've won once since I was in elementary school. You've won one time since I was in fifth fucking grade. Does it like, are you still fucking Ohio State? We care about that game way more. Do you? Because like 95% of the time, you get blasted and it's over by the second quarter. You know what I mean? And I know Michigan won last year and it's different, whatever you want to say. Fine. I'm not trying to start an argument. I'm just saying it's okay to say, I fucking care about Michigan State too. It's okay to say MSU's right there because they should be. It's one of the greatest rivalries in college sports. It's back and forth. It doesn't matter whose record is what. Green and white, maize and blue. Fucking 67 miles or whatever it is separate the campuses. Classic fucking moments. Like, it's okay. There's a reason people care about it. There's a reason people talk shit about it. There's a reason it's on primetime ABC. It's a big fucking deal. It's not weird to be into big deals. It's actually fucking sweet. It's admirable to care about things that are cool, that are nationally relevant, that other people love who have nothing to do with it. Like, imagine you go see some painter and you're like, damn, dude, Mr. Picasso, I love your painting. It's very nice. Is he Italian, Picasso? Mr. Picasso. I don't know. You get the fucking point. Mr. Picasso, I love your painting. Unbelievable. You're so talented. And he goes, I don't fucking care about it. I actually prefer singing. You'd be like, whoa, what? You don't care about your art? This is like one of the coolest things. And he's just like, I don't fucking care. Like, why would you be like that? Doesn't make any sense. Michigan State won. Great game. Jaden Reed, unguardable. Keon Coleman, unguardable. Dude, Jim Leonard took over a Wisco for Chris. This guy's supposed to be a defensive genius. I remember when Mel came in, it was like, is he going to make a pitch to Jim Leonard at Wisconsin, just offer him more money? I remember that because he's the best defensive coordinator out. You going one-on-one with either Keon or Jay Reed at any point in any fucking football game, And Jim Harbaugh, this is free advice right now. If you do that at any point, you are so fucking bad at your job. I hope MSU, if U of M covers those dudes one on one, smash fade every single play. 50-50, brother. That shit is not 50-50 with those two. You're either getting a catch or a PI flag like 95% of the time. 50-50. You're fucking lopsided looking at that 50-50. No shot. I couldn't believe Wisconsin did that, especially down the stretch, especially after Keon burned him at the end of regulation and then again in OT, and then they still do it to Jaden Reed in the second overtime. Jim Leonard, are you fucking out of your mind, brother? They fired Paul Christ for that guy? Yikes. Michigan steamrolled Penn State. They looked unreal. People were saying, how the hell are they going to run the ball on Penn State? I don't know. Like, there's 200 different ways they're going to do it. Donovan Edwards was nice. Blake Corum, we know, is a savage. That offensive line's fucking scary. Michigan looks good. I'm not going to sit here. I know it's rivalry week, and I fucking hate their guts. They look good. I'm not going to lie to you, but we got a whole nother week and a half to talk about them. So let me take a quick break. We'll talk about the Red Wings, little Pistons. Be right back. Let's go, Red Wings. Let's go, Red Wings. Can you hear this? Let's go, Red Wings, dude. I love hockey, man. I love hockey. I love the Red Wings. I love the fucking Red Wings. I don't know what else, how else, like, I just fucking love the Detroit Red Wings. I don't know if it's all the history, the success, 25 straight years in the playoffs. Got Gordie Howe, Del Vecchio, Sid, Abel, Steve, Eiserman, Federer. Could go for hours just listing legends that have worn the winged wheel. The logo, it's the best logo in sports. The iconic red sweater, so nice. Tupac Shakur out in LA was repping that shit. I love every fucking thing about the Wings. I don't know if it's because they've been the most consistent franchise in my life, the most successful franchise in my life, the fact that they're an original six team, they've got the history. I don't know, man. I just fucking love the Wings, and they've been rebuilding, and we saw them take a couple steps, right? We saw them take the step last year where they, didn't do anything crazy, but they got a little bit better. They improved. We saw some of these young guys, Mo Sider, Lucas Raymond, join the scene and make a little bit of a splash, do some things, prove they belong, show that Steve Eiserman and these guys in the front office, hey, they know what the fuck they're doing up there. They know who they're taking. They know who's going to work and who's not. They know how to build a hockey team that's going to win. And then again, we come out this year, and it's again not a year where people are going, this is the year we break in, we win a playoff series or two, we make a little bit of a run, we'll see what happens. Nobody's doing that. But it's a year where people are going, all right, we've got a bit of a core. You've got the guys like Larkin, Bertuzzi. I was going to say Vrana, but he hasn't been around for that long. You've got these guys, Fronek, who have been around for a little while. Even guys like Zadina, Valeno's been here for a couple years now, who have been around for a while, who you've kind of always thought, all right, obviously Larkin, Bertuzzi, those guys have a place, but some of the Valeno, Michael Rasmussen, Adam Ernie, like, all right, do these guys have a role? Like, they show flashes, they seem all right. Do we just need more talent around them? Like, is there a world where Adam Ernie is on a playoff contending team, but he's slotted on the third line instead of being the second? Like, you bring in more talent and now guys properly slot. Michael Rasmussen maybe is playing on the fourth line rather than the third, and God forbid the second. Like, where were we? We were kind of getting to that point this offseason where it's like, I don't think we're quite at the level where it's let's go splash. Let's go get Patrick Kane. Right? Let's go make Chicago an offer they can't refuse. Let's go give somebody the bag in free agency. Let's go improve this team as much as we can, as fast as we can, and spend all that cap. I don't think we were there, but we also weren't at the point going, let's fucking circle the wagons. Let's take our bruises. Let's finish fourth worst in the NHL, take our pick, be on our way, and get back at it next year. We weren't there either. Kind of in between, where it's like some of these dudes are starting to mature. We saw Sider and Raymond last year, saw that they were good, banking on them taking a step. We know who Dylan Larkin is. We know if he can stay healthy who Jakob Vrana is. Bertuzzi fucking just broke his hand out 4 to 6 weeks. Same deal. Stays healthy. You know what he is. We've got some guys now where it's like, all right, we've got two lines of pretty solid guys. Yep, we're still pretty young. That's the one fault I would say with the Wings. There's still some talent to be had, but I think more than anything, we're still young. A lot of our core guys, like Dylan Larkin's up there. Dylan Larkin's a vet. This is year 8 for him, I believe. I think he's still like 27, 28 years old. Like our vets are still in their prime. We don't have a ton of guys that are 32, 33, 34 that have been in championship locker rooms, that have been around the block a little bit, have played deep into April and May. We don't have a ton of guys like that. We signed a couple. Andrew Cobb's been around for a bit. Ben Sherratt's been around for a little bit. Billy Huso in St. Louis gave him some valuable time last year. Like we've gotten some dudes, but we're still pretty young. And then you look at our other dynamic pieces. Vrana's like 24, 25, young. Zadina, a guy we're hoping comes along. He's still young. Lucas Raymond, Mo Sider, Edvinson whenever he joins the fray. Elmer Soderblom, a guy who it looks like we're going to rely on a little bit. Young, young, young. David Perron, I forgot to mention another veteran who's been in some winning club or locker rooms. We're a pretty young team, all things considered. So we kind of found ourselves in a little halfway house coming into this year. Stevie made some moves. Stevie, I think by the moves he made, and I'm sure I did, I'm sure I talked about it at the time, but by the moves he made, you could say he was kind of like, all right, let's fucking win. Maybe not, let's win the Stanley Cup. He's not going all out. Let's do the fucking thing. This is the year. He's not doing that, but he's kind of committed to going, let's win as many games as we can. I got no interest in another lottery pick. I want to see the Red Wings in the playoffs. We've got some talent in the pipeline. We are going to have money to play with in the years upcoming. He still, I think, has a good deal of draft picks that are slowly becoming more and more expendable. I also think he has like a Stevie Eiserman fucking nuts on the table, Stevie Bong rips. Was he high or was the other GM high deal to be made? I mean, he's done it a few times. Nedeljkovic was a steal. Vrana the Vrana deal, the Vrana deal will never make sense from Washington's perspective. He's made a couple moves already where it's like, fucking yes, Steve. Fabry was a great move where he's improved the Red Wings pretty quickly and for pretty cheaply. But I still think he's got a haul in him someday, sometime. I don't know when. Trade deadline this year, potentially this next off season, sometime next year. I don't know. I think within the next 2 years, though, he will make that move where it's like, all right, Patty Kane's done in Chicago, doesn't want to rebuild, wants to go win somewhere. Steve Eiserman goes to Chicago and says, hey, we'll give you, I don't know, 2 seconds and Philip Zadina, or I don't know what the package would be, but we'll give you a fucking sack for Patrick Kane to come wear, red and white for a little bit. I think he's getting to that point. And I don't know if it would be Patrick Kane, but I'm just using as an example, like somebody, a superstar who elevates your team immediately, who if you're winning and you feel like you got some room to add a couple pieces, especially if you want to add a high-end talent, the highest of end talent like Patrick Kane, there's guys available. Eichel was a guy like that available not too long ago. Patrick Kane is the guy I think for this year, and I'm sure more will become available as the season progresses. And it's just the circle of life in pro sports. But I think a move like that will be made by Steve Eiserman eventually. But he brought in guys like David Perron, Andrew Kopp, Oli Mata, Ville Huso, Ben Sherratt, all guys, none of them crazy, none of them game breakers. None of them that big time, holy shit, Detroit's back deal like landing a Patrick Kane would be. But all guys that can contribute. Andrew Kopp's going to slot into the second line center role. He's going to properly slot some guys beneath him. He's a good two-way forward. Again, been around the block. He's played in the playoffs up in Winnipeg. David Perron, power play specialist, scored a lot of fucking goals in St. Louis. Been to the Stanley Cup, won the Stanley Cup, been in some playoff series. He knows what it takes to win. He knows what that shit looks like. Been around the block in the league, too. He's kind of up there. Ben Sherratt, coming over from Florida, one of the best teams in hockey last year. Didn't win anything, made the playoffs, was part of the winning culture, played alongside some elite talent, Sasha Barkov, Huberto. That's valuable. Ville Huso, St. Louis, again, same deal as David Perron. Had a couple games in St. Louis where it's like, hey, Ville, we're going to stink tonight, but we need to win. So figure it out. Because that was the thing last year. Ned was great early on. Grace was fine. And they both kind of tapered off as the season went on. But it was like, yeah, they had a bad game. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like we were still in the stage last year where Losing, it was like, all right, I wanted to win. I'm sure they all wanted to win. I'm sure Steve Eiserman, ideally, that team wins enough to make the playoffs and we kind of get this thing moving a year early. I'm sure. It's nice we got Marco Casper. I'm sure that will come to play at some point, or hopefully, if all things go according to plan, Marco Casper will play a role on the Detroit Red Wings when they win their next Stanley Cup, right? But I'm sure everybody would have liked to be in the playoffs rather than in the lottery. When we lost those games, it wasn't like fucking A Nedeljkovic. God damn it, Christ. Like, we need you to stand on your head every once in a while. We need you to steal us one. Losing those games, it's like, all right, it's probably for the best. I don't want to lose, but it's probably too early. It's probably for the best we lose this one. It's probably for the best we don't win a ton of games this year. All right, fine. But now we're in that point where it's like, let's win as many as we can. There is no, well, the draft pick. There is no, yeah, it's probably for the best. Fuck no. Winning is for the best. Winning as many games as you can is for the best. If you're going to lose, losing in overtime is for the best. Stacking as many points as possible is for the best. We want to make the playoffs. That's what's for the best. Going through a handshake line at some point this season. That is what's for the best. So we went out and got a guy in that like Ville Husso, where he's not Jonathan Quick, he's not Carey Price, he's not Vasilevsky, he's not one of the best in the league, but he's a guy who has proven on a playoff team, you can look at him and go, hey, Vil. And he did it the opening night. We shut out Montreal. You can go, hey, Vil, you're going to get peppered a bit tonight. Fucking please bail us out. We need you. You got a guy like that, and that matters. Nobody in hockey can steal a game like a good goaltender. You got another one in Ville Husso. I think that kind of takes some of the responsibility off Nedeljkovic's shoulders too, which I like. I'm sure at some point last year when he started the struggle, he was pressing like, God damn it, I got to be the guy. I got to make all these saves. I can't let any goals in. I'm sure he kind of got to that level. So what's nice now, he's got someone else there, maybe someone else who takes the lion's share of the starts. I think it'll be a pretty 50-50 split between who's between the posts, between who's between the posts each night. But we have another guy now in Husso who, Nedeljkovic, you don't need to press, dude. Fucking take it easy, relax. You'll start tonight. Billy will go tomorrow. You don't need to be your best every single night. You're good, dude. You're good. Doesn't always need to be a shutout. You're going to get scored on. Shit happens. So that was an improvement. David Perron on the PP. All these guys, he made moves to improve the Red Wings. And I think it brought us to the point of both talent wise, but also mentality wise. I'm sure within the room and definitely within the fan base, or at least me, dude, coming into the season, it was like, let's go. Let's win. Let's win. And these boys are 2-0-1 to start. Shut out Montreal opening night. Who'd they beat? Who'd they beat in the second one? The Devils. I think they beat them 4-3 and then lost in OT last night or Monday to the Kings 5-4. That Dylan Larkin play was fucking unreal, dude. That was sick. That whole ending was sick. Dylan Larkin, the chase down poke check between Arvidsson's legs, and the puck comes all the way back around. And Sundqvist, another Stevie Y pickup, buries it with like 40 seconds left to send that shit to overtime. That's what playoff teams do. Right fucking there. Like I said it. We took a step last year. We were more competitive. We gave teams like Tampa and Florida a little bit more of a run. Like, it wasn't just a rollover game every time we played them. We bucked up a little bit. We punched them back. It felt like that game against the Kings on Monday was another little step. The next step would be Sundqvist buries that and you go out and win that shit in overtime. That's the next step, right? We still got some steps to take. We still got a little bit of room to grow, and we still have players that are going to come. Berggren will be here one day. Edvinsson will be here one day. Kosa hopefully will be here one day. Wallinder, Johansson, Niederbach, hopefully those guys are here one day. Marco Casper is here one day. A Patrick Kane or someone of the sort is here one day. Like, there is a lot of fucking talent that we still got brewing in the pipeline and sitting in the form of paper in Stevie Eiserman's bank vault. We got some moves to be made. There is talent to be added to Detroit, and we've taken another step. Red Wings last year, they don't send that game to overtime. It was like watching Dylan Larkin make that play and then watching those guys just find a way to get one in the back of the net to make that shit worthwhile and send it to overtime and steal a point versus the Kings. 3 games in 4 days, stealing a point like that. I'll take it all day, dude. 2-0-1, 3-4. 3 games, 4 days to start the season, Gary Bettman. Are you high, buddy? And if you are, why are you still taking the prescription pills? Get on the weed. Do something that doesn't melt your fucking brain. 3 games in 4 days, Gary Bettman, and the season literally just started. And oh, yeah, there's a travel day in between there. What the fuck kind of scheduling is that? No excuses. 2-0-1 in that stretch. I will take it all day. If you go 2-0-1 every time you play 3-4, we're going to win the Stanley fucking Cup. It's going to be Dylan Larkin hoisting that puppy in May. 3 games, 4 days, and we're gonna go 2-0-1. Yeah, dude. Edvinson can stay in Grand Rapids. We don't need anybody else. Steve Eiserman can pocket the rest of the cap space. That shit doesn't matter if we're going 2-0-1. So I'm pleased with it. And it was a step to send that game to overtime and steal the point, and it was a beautiful fucking thing to watch. It reminded me of the Red Wings of old. Datsuk, Zetterberg, Lidstrom, Holmstrom, those teams where it was like, you fucking knew those dudes were just better than whoever they were playing every night. You knew they were going to win. You knew, oh, they're down. All right, they'll score. Oh, empty net. Need one in a minute 20. Yeah, we'll figure it out. You fucking knew it. Reminded me of the Red Wings of old. It was a beautiful thing to watch. And of course, our captain, Dylan Larkin, at the center of it. That dude, man, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think there are any Larkin haters out there right now. But if there are, if you're someone going around still, because like 2, 3 years ago, there were people doing the Dylan, he's not a first line center. He's a fine player. He's not a first line center. Can't make him the core. Can't make him the building block. How stupid do you fucking feel right now? How fucking stupid do you feel? Dylan Larkin's not a first line center. Fucking take 2 of those and call me in the morning. Yeah, absolute rabbit. What are you talking about? Dylan Larkin's not a first line center. The guy's elite. The guy's elite. That fucking play. You see that thing? I love Dylan Larkin, bro. I love that he's the captain. I love that we're about to lock him up for the long term this summer. I love that he's from Michigan. I love that he grew up fucking wearing the winged wheel for Halloween and shit. I love everything about him. And his game is just getting better and better and better. And I'll tell you, we know he can play. We know he can score goals, pass the puck. We know that. He's added the defensive side of the game. And he's doing stuff like that against the Kings. Hustle play, just do or die back check. Didn't need to do it. Could have conceded. Fuck, we lost this one. God damn. Didn't need to do it, but he's the fucking captain of the Detroit Red Wings. He will be damned if he doesn't give every single thing he has to try and prevent that goal. And it worked. Dude, I don't know if he ended up getting an assist or anything on the Sundqvist goal, but that kind of stuff that adds up. That rubs off on the Mo Siders of the world. That rubs off on the Lucas Raymonds of the world, Jakob Vranas of the world. These guys that are skill guys that maybe don't want to rough it up, don't want to back check super hard, don't really care as much about keeping the puck out of their net as they care about putting the puck in the opponent's net. That kind of shit from your captain, from a guy like Dylan Larkin, who's probably the best player on the team. You see that, it fucking gasses you up, dude. I want to lace him up and go take a 90-mile-an-hour slap shot to the mouth. I want to do that. I want to take one for Billy Huso off my fucking femur and not walk again for a year and a half. Just because of Dylan Larkin making one play, dude. I want to stick my hand out and just wear one. Never be able to shake somebody's hand again for Dylan Larkin. I want to do that. That's rubbing off on me, dude. I'm a decent skater. I'd get fucking dummied at a beer league in California. I want to lace it up for the Detroit Red Wings. You don't think the guys that have the skill, that are getting paid, that are in it every day, playing, practicing with that guy, you don't think that doesn't gas them up? Think again. Fucking A, Dylan Larkin. This team looks good. I know it's only 3 games, and I know it's been pretty cupcake. The Canadians, I don't think, are going to be very good. New Jersey stinks. And LA, I think they'll probably be okay. But I know it's been pretty cupcake, and we got Chicago on Friday, but fucking great start. 2-0-1, 3 games, 4 days. How can you not be happy with that? Winning a 3-0 shutout, battling back against the Devils, and then the absolute battle last night. Or they didn't even battle. They kind of cleaned the Devils, didn't they? And then the absolute battle against the Kings Monday night. That fucking Larkin play, unreal. And shout out Derek Lalonde, winning his first 2, obviously won the opener um, in Detroit. his first game. So shout out to him. That was probably epic. His Chicklets interview was fucking awesome. He seems like a great guy. So I'm pulling for him. I like him early on. I like him a lot more than Blashill. That's for sure. Seems like he has more personality. Apparently, is more of a player's coach. The team scores goals. Our skill players do creative things, which was like anti Jeff Blashill's policy. So it was good. Good for Derek Lalonde. Good for the Wings. I like where the boys are at. I'm fucking pumped. All right, Pistons. Pistons start tonight. Orlando, 7 p.m. tip on the East Coast in Detroit or Little Caesars Arena. I can only imagine that place is going to be buzzing. I can only imagine it's going to be filled to the brim. I can only imagine this is probably the most anticipated home opener the Pistons have had. Last year was exciting with Cade, but since then, like this is, I mean, we got Cade, but now we got Jaden Ivey too. Now we got Jalen Duran too. Now Sadiq Bey's in year 3. Now we got Boyan Bogdanovic. Now everybody's a year older. Now it's like kind of like the Red Wings. They're lagging behind the Red Wings as far as the timetable, but now it's like, all right, like let's fucking win some games. Let's not be the worst anymore. Let's not watch the draft lottery hoping for the first pick anymore. You know what I mean? It feels like that's where the Pistons are at this year. And I'm excited to see what happens. I think Jaden Ivey, I've said it 1,000 times, Jaden Ivey and Cade Cunningham are going to be a fucking disgusting backcourt, dude. I think they're going to be a menace to other teams defensively with their length and Ivy's athleticism. I think they're going to be impossible to play defense against. Cade's ability, he does the Doncic stuff where like he doesn't look like the fastest guy in the world. He doesn't look like the strongest guy in the world, although apparently he added 10 pounds of muscle. But he just like gets by guys, gets into the lane, puts you on his ass. Like he just tucks dudes away. His positioning, he's so crafty and smart. And then it's like, oh shit, he's 6'8" and is built like a goddamn alien. Cade Cunningham, and he can shoot, and he's a pass first guy. He knows where people are. He knows how to make reads. Cade Cunningham with his distributing ability and the scoring ability when he needs it. I mean, how many times did we see last year? Like, I want to say after like the first 10 games he played, where it was like, all right, now this guy's kind of comfortable. When we were down the stretch, those Raptors games come to mind and we needed buckets. It was like, all right, Cade, fucking nobody else wants the ball. Go. I'll go get you a bucket. Cade will get into the lane. He'll body you. You put a guard on him, he'll take him down low, give him a shoulder, and pop up a little jump hook. He'll fucking hit you with a jab step and pull a 3 in your fucking mouth, bro. You don't think he won't? Promise you he will. And then you combine that with Jaden Ivey's just freak athleticism, a dude who can cut, shoot, pass, dribble. He can go to the line. Jaden Ivey's the perfect complement because he's great with the ball too. I don't think he's the passer Cade is, but I don't think many are, right? That's not a slight or anything. Um, he's just not the player Cade is. I think Cade is the best player on the team, will be the best player on the team. I think Cade's going to take a fat step this year too, or at least I'm hoping. I mean, he had moments last year where it was like, oh shit, dude. He's not, he's not like in the MVP conversation or anything crazy, but there were moments last year watching Cade where it's like, oh shit, dude, this guy's fucking sweet. The Pistons burned the first overall pick on this Cade Cunningham, and this kid's nasty. Like there were a few times, it wasn't every game, wasn't all the time. He had bad games too, but there were some times where it was like, oh, he plays for the Pistons, bro. This isn't Stanley Johnson. This isn't Stan Van Gundy's fucking first round draft picks. Jaden Ivey, I think, is going to be nice. I just love the idea that, unlike the Killian and Cade pairing, Jaden Ivey is extremely effective without the ball. I love that he can shoot. Guards that can't shoot in the NBA, Ben Simmons, I don't know how you exist. Don't know how anybody wants them. Don't know why anybody would willingly fucking draft them. I love that Jaden can shoot. I love that his vertical 72 feet. I love that his first step fucking seems impossible to get in front of. I love that he wants to go to the rim. I love that he wants to throw it down on your mouth. I love that he can kick it out. He's a good enough passer. If someone slides, all right, corner. If big man comes over, dump it off for the slam. I love that he can make plays. And I love, dude, he can just run off screens if you want him to. He can make back cuts all day if you want him to. Like, he can stand in the corner and shoot threes all day if you want him to. And if Cade needs a blow, he can run the show as well. I love that Jaden Ivey can do everything. Maybe he can't do some of those things at the level Cade can, which is fine. Not everybody will be able to. Not everybody's the first overall pick. But I love Ivy's game, and I think it pairs super well with Cade because you get into those instances, and we've seen it a million times with these super teams where you get backcourts where it's like, yeah, Chris Paul and James Harden sick, but they both want the ball all of the fucking time. Yeah, Russell Westbrook and James Harden's cool. There's one basketball. You know what I mean? And it was kind of like that with Cade and Killian to the point where Killian just kind of got relegated to running with the twos. Jaden Ivey and Cade don't need to be that. Cade can play off ball if you wanted to. Get him a blow. Sit in the corner and be a shooter, Cade. You're great at that. Take a breather. Be a shooter. If you catch it, you're open. Fucking pull it, brother. He can take breaks on the offensive end if need be. I love the idea of guards that don't need to have the ball. And then you look at the bigs. I mean, Sadiq on the wing, he was good again last year. You're hoping he takes another step. We'll see. I think this will be an interesting year for him where it's like he's another guy who will show flashes. I think he had 50 against Boston last year where he'll have games like that where you're like, holy shit, this guy's nuts. This guy should be really good. Maybe not. This is going to be wild that I even say this name. Maybe not Jason Tatum, but this guy should be a really good player. He has games like that. And then again, the first like quarter of the season, it felt like Sadiq couldn't make a three. He has those runs where you're like, oh, I thought you were better though. I thought you were good. This isn't supposed to be a good shooter. You fucking miss everything. So I think this will be an interesting year for Sadiq, just as far as figuring out what the ceiling is. Like, who's Sadiq Bey going to be? Is he going to be a pretty good player on the wing? Maybe like the fourth option on a championship team? Or is he going to maybe potentially grow into a third? God forbid, dare I say, second option on a championship team. Like, I'm interested. Let's see where Sadiq Bey falls. I'm interested to see where he ends up, where his talent level peaks. Because I think year three now, it's like, all right, dude, if you're going to keep growing, you're going to keep getting better. You're going to keep fucking adding moves, getting better at defense, taking it to the rim, being a better passer, whatever it is you need to get better at. I think year three, it's like, all right, let's see if there's more space. So that'll be fun. Isaiah Stewart, I like. I don't know how much improvement we're going to see from him. I feel like he's one of those guys that's like, just kind of is what it is, hustle guy, but you can always use those grinds. Fucking ate a punch from LeBron, that coward. Killian Hayes looked pretty good in the preseason. Big year for him. Everybody hates him in Detroit for whatever reason. He was injured like his entire rookie year. I get he's been a little underwhelming, but bear with the guy. It's early on. He came to the NBA when he was like 18 or 19. Fucking relax. Well, like his Killian Hayes 21. Everybody's ready to bury him. I understand he was the sixth or the seventh pick, whatever. I understand he was supposed to be a really good player. Guy didn't barely played his first year. 21. Like what? Relax. Changed up his shooting form. Listen, I didn't watch the Pistons at all in preseason, but I saw that Killian was kind of cooking. I saw that he looked much better. So it'll be fun to see what he's got. Bojan Bogdanovic, I think, is a great addition as a role player. He can shoot, knows what he's doing. Another guy who hasn't won a championship, but like he's been on a lot of good teams in Utah. Played with a lot of good players. He's won some playoff series. Got him for free as well, so you can't complain with that. And Jalen Duren, the youngest player, I think, in the NBA. Was he 18, 19 years old? I think he's going to be a freak. I'm very excited to see what he's about. I understand he's raw. I understand he's 19 or whatever. I understand that it's like, let's wait and be patient, let him learn the game, whatever the fuck. Dude, that guy is built like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Predator. that guy that guy looked like if he bitch slapped an elephant, that thing would end up in Timbuktu. You know what I mean? That guy's a freak. He's one of those dudes that he went to Memphis and watching a college game, it would have been like, how the fuck is that kid allowed to be on the same floor as Steven Izzo? Who the hell passed that legislature? Because that ain't right. He played against high schoolers. He played against guys that look like me, 5'10, 170, running the three. What? Dude, I know he's raw, but I'm juiced to see what Jalen Duren's got. But much like the Red Wings, my expectation for the Pistons is pretty similar. Definitely not expecting them to make the playoffs. Obviously, I hope they win it all. Not expecting them to make the playoffs. I don't even know if I expect them to make the plan. I think it would be nice if they made the plan. If they made the plan, I'd be like, all right, cool. I'm happy with that. That's solid. I'm not gonna go fucking throw a parade. We made the play in. We're back. Restore Detroit. We're not making t-shirts if we make the plan. But if we make the plan, I'll come on here and go, all right, pretty good. That's a step. That's a step. My expectation for them, much like the Red Wings, keep it interesting for 82. Keep me tuning in. Game 75. Make me tune in. Let me fucking sit down on that couch for 3 hours and make sure I'm there if the when the Detroit Pistons make the playoffs or qualify for the play. Game 78. Force me to tune in, see if these kids got it. See if we're gonna hang around and make the plan. Just keep it interesting. That's all I ask. I'm excited. Great time. We got basketball, hockey, football, MSU, Michigan. The Tigers fucking blow, but it's a great time to be a sports fan. I appreciate everybody. I'll be back Friday. Love you guys.